Hi, my name is TanishaShunta and welcome to my channel.
So, as an African American woman who primarily dates African men, I get asked a lot of questions why, and I just wanted to do a video to kind of explain why. First of all, this is my video and what I am attracted to. And this is also not a video to bash any groups of men, by the way. So if you're looking for that type of video, that's not it. So for me, I'm attracted to black men first and foremost. That's my preference. And then right underneath that is Hispanics. So I'm not really attracted to white men. That's not my preference. Nothing wrong with them, but what I like is either black men or Hispanics. So I would prefer to date an American man who happens to be black, but in my dating experience, I haven't found one that's kind of at my level or above. And I've explained too, like for me, how I look at things. I need to date a man that's at my level or above, or at least have a vision for his life or know where he's going or something. I can't be the brains of the relationship all of the time. I do have good ideas about a lot of things, but as the man, what I think the man should have the vision for his family and just know where he's going. And that's primarily the difference that I found between black American men and African men. Now, two completely different backgrounds they have, of course. And I'm not saying that there's not American men that, black men that don't have these goals, but from what I've experienced, I don't see it often. And if I do see them having a vision and goals, just basically at a point in their life where they got their stuff together, they're usually not wanting to be in a relationship or not looking to commit and just want to continue what they're doing on their own and just do what they want as far as, whatever. And so it's hard to find someone that's wanting to even commit or like, not even commit, because I'm at a point in my life, I don't think I want a committed relationship, but just dating wise, just even talking, like I love to talk. I love to see where a person is mentally. And so comparing the two, I often find that African men tend to have goals, tend to have a vision for where they're going, tend to be hardworking, taking care of their woman, their family, lots of values that I value. Whereas today, American men that I tend to talk to don't seem to have those values anymore, and let alone want to get married someday. And that's something I had always wanted before, but I think that kind of changed because of the men that I've come across. But as far as just treating me like a woman or like treating me of value, treatment in general, it could be anything. I feel like I've gotten treated better by African men, and I'm able to be a woman. Like I tend to want, first of all, I'm a giver. If someone needs help, I'm usually that person. Like I don't mind if I have it to give. Sometimes I overgive, but it comes from a pure heart, and I would love to help anyone that's in need if I could. But I tend to do that so much more with black American men for some reason, or like they just don't have their stuff together as much. At least the ones I've dated, I don't see much of an example. If I do see a guy that has their stuff together, again, they don't want a relationship. They're just doing their own thing because it's easier to not have a relationship, or they're taken, or like they're dating somebody else. So it's so rare to find someone that values what I value and wants the same things I want. But in general, two American men are in America. And so there is a cultural preferences, even with heavy women, it's a lot better these days, but still just being a heavy woman is still a thing. I feel like they're always looking for the best thing out there. So whereas African men, it's like, now I've come across some that does the same thing, but overall, the ones I've dated, they didn't have a problem with my weight. They valued who I was as a person. And unfortunately, the ones I've dated and I really like, we just didn't click, and that's okay. And we just parted ways. And that's so beautiful. Like we're still friends to this day, no hard feelings. And so it's beautiful, but I'm able to like have good conversation too. That's another thing. If you can't have conversation, intelligent conversations, it's not gonna really work. And I'll talk to you, but not as much. With American men that I've dated, like it's just harder. I'm guiding them. I don't ever want to feel like I'm guiding a man so much to the point where, you know, I feel like the man of the relationship. When I'm in a relationship, when I'm dating, I want to rest in my femininity and rest in being the woman, the nurturing, caring side, and giving advice. But I don't want that to replace the vision that you have for your own life as a man. And I do believe that when women and men have different roles when it comes to a lot of things. And so I've found that what keeps the conversation going the most and keeps me interested is African men. And I just literally had my dad ask me that yesterday. I don't know why he just asked me that. He's asked me this before, but he asked me this yesterday. He's like, why do you date African men? And I'm like, they're just different from American men. And he's like, but like, why? Like, how? I'm like, well, they're hardworking, they have values, they have visions. They most of the time would not let me pay for anything. Like, I can be a woman. If we go out, it's an actual date. I'm traditional in my values, my thinking to a certain extent, and I believe in allowing the man to be the man. So there are certain ways that the man can be the man in a relationship, and I can rest and be the woman and be the feminine energy. So I allow him to be that masculine energy, but you gotta be tender too, okay? But anywho, they allow me to be that. They don't mind paying. They're manly men. And that's the first thing I actually said. I'm like, they're manly men. They're just manly men. I need a manly man. And it's nice to be in the presence of a manly man. It's just so different. Again, allowing me to be the woman. It's nice. And it's something I'm not used to because I grew up trying to be this woman that takes care of everything. I take care of my own, don't get me wrong, but it's like being so independent that I'm operating in my masculine energy too, so much. And I'm not sitting back and being the woman that I want to be. I can do that when I'm in the presence of an African man majority of the time compared to American men majority of the time. And then two, most African men that I've met. Now, everyone, again, there is a time of need. Again, voice that if you need help, you know, that's cool. But I find it more often than not that American men are so easy to ask a woman to help them financially. That in itself, for me, that's like something wrong with that. As a man, you should have your stuff together. You should be together financially. If you're leaning on a woman to support you financially and you're a man and there's nothing that's wrong with you, like your sole source of money is coming mainly through a woman and you're not out there doing what you need to do and you're able to do it, that in itself is a turnoff for me. I just don't deal with men like that because you're not even operating in your true nature of a man to go out and get it, to put action behind what you need to be doing, to even sustain yourself. So I usually don't talk to men like that. And I found that in most American men, they are okay with asking women to support them financially. I'm not even talking about help, but support. Like, they're looking to give free meals. Like, I don't know what happened in the last years, but that's how it is. And that's how it's been for me. They're looking for something. They're looking for help. And it's okay to look for help, but as a man, you're looking for financial help. That tells me already that some things are not together and I need it to be together. And African men, if they need help, they really need help with something. It's different. Once they get the help, they on their own. They don't continuously take. Unless, again, because I've met maybe one or two in a predicament that they had to do that. But for the most part, when they get their stuff together, they use the help, get their stuff together, do what they need to do, and then they on their own feet. Like what I've experienced, if they ask a woman for money, they really need it at that moment, not an ongoing thing. And then they get their stuff together. That's okay. If that's the case, for sure. If I'm able to help, for sure. You know, if you find another woman to help, I don't know, for sure. But afterwards, like, come on now, get on, you know, your 2 feet. And they usually do. And then when it comes to the traditional roles, I feel like the hierarchy in a relationship, in a marriage, again, I'm very traditional when it comes to that part. Not a Christian, but do believe a lot of the Bible because I was a Christian once before. I believe God had ordained marriage to be a certain way. And I tend to find African men value those same traditions. So if I were to get married or choose to get married again one day, I would want those same values. And I feel like African men value those values. And then the last one is culture in America. regarding heavy women. Like, yes, it's gotten better for sure, but it's still a thing. Like, just because I'm heavy, it means this and this and that and that, and they just overlook the woman that I am because I'm heavy. Or they're like always wanting something, but they still looking for better. Like, So I can peep that up a mile away. And so with African men, they don't mind how heavy I am. They look at me like I feel like I'm seen when I'm in their presence. And again, I said this to say, not all American men are like this, because I have met a few that value the things that I value as a woman. I've met those men, but they are either looking for something else, or like it just didn't work out between us. A lot of things got to come into play for things to work out, I've found in my 30s. Or like, yeah, they're just not ready. But it's unfortunate. It really is. I've dated a lot more being out of Christianity, and dating is so fun. You really are just getting to know men. You learn more about yourself too. Like, it's just the most exciting, fun thing that I wish I've done years before. And I feel like I would have had a better grip on who I was and what I'm looking for as a woman. So yes, not to say that it's just hard to find. Very hard to find. So I tend to attract African men. I don't even look for them, I just attract them. And so it just happens like that. And every time we just talk, it just works out. And I'm open, even though my preference is Black men and Hispanics, I'm open to any race, but like it really has to be a good connection if it's going to be another race. Honestly, they miss out. I feel like I'm a great woman, just a great person in general. So I've come to grips with that. And if you can't overlook my weight, or just not overlook it, but like if my weight is such a big thing to you and you can't see who I am, then I know I'm not for you. And that's, that's their preference. But when it comes to like an insult, or like you disgusted because I'm big, like that's more on them. I don't deal with that. I don't deal with those kind of people in general. And then two, I'll tell you a story of why I prefer African men, and they're just different. So I went to go see a family member this past weekend, and that family member brought a friend, and he asked my friend at the time, who happens to be Nigerian, why do y'all date fat women? And I looked at him and he's like, not F-A-T, I'm talking about P-H-A-T. Pretty, whatever the P-H-A-T means. But he fixed it real quick. But anywho, I'm like, I'm gonna let him handle it, because that's another thing. Boldness. African men, in my opinion, is more bold. I'm just saying. Manly man. So my friend has said, fat is not a thing to us back in my country. When we say a woman is fat, it's just like an observation. Yeah, she's fat. It's not an insult like America make it to be. And I'm like, wow. Like, I didn't know that. He's like, so, but why do y'all date fat women? And he's like, I date women. Basically saying he just date women. If she happens to be fat, okay. It's not a thing like America makes it. He's like, America makes it as an insult. It's just an observation. It's like, if you don't like fat women, you just move on. Just date who you like, pretty much. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's how I feel. I'm not harping on other kinds of races of men. I have my preference, and that's just a thing. And that's basically what he said. And I'm just like, man, he held his own. That was a proud moment for me. And I'm glad I got to witness that, because America makes it an issue if a person is heavy, fat, whatever you call it. I always say I'm literally the healthiest, fattest person. I feel like every time I go to the doctor, it's good news. It's good health. I don't know. I try to lose weight, but I don't know. I guess I'm meant to be heavy. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I can get my weight under control, just for the simple fact that I'll feel better. I'll feel healthier, Other than that, man, like I can be myself. I don't have to pretend to be somebody else. But yeah, only in America, that's an issue. I had a friend once. I was dating an American man, actually, Black man. And she thought he was with me because he had a fat fetish, a fetish for big women. And just the narrow-mindedness of that woman, because she thinks, in her mind, she thought there has to be a reason why men are with bigger women. Yeah, that's a whole nother story with that friend. But anywho, just even that kind of thinking, like, that person is with that big girl for a reason. It's sad, but I keep going, because ain't nobody living my life but me. So I have fun dating, and I haven't in a while because I've been just really busy with a lot of stuff, but it's been so fun meeting different kinds of men in general, Black, whatever. I've dated other races of men, but it just didn't work out. And when I say dating, I mean actually gathering information. So in the meantime, African men seem to fit a lot of what I'm looking for in a man in general, and they keep coming my way somehow, and I keep being attracted to them somehow. I don't know. And two, you have the stereotypes of African men just looking for certain things, and they targeted heavy women, scams and stuff. I've had one, maybe. But other than that, I've met some really, really good men. Like, really good men. Didn't work out, but still good people that I've met. Another thing that I really value is that they know what they want. Most of the time they know what they want, and that gets the guessing game out of everything. And so when you know what you want, we can be honest. Yeah, that's why a lot of the times it doesn't work out, because we just don't match. We match in values, but like it's just always something. So it just lets me know that's not my person, and that's okay. But no hard feelings. And when you have mature minds, you can do that. You don't have to take it personal, you know, like, oh dang, this didn't happen, or they prefer this, oh man. And then I look down on my own self. That's not okay. I stopped that years ago. So dating is now fun. I haven't met a man in a long time that makes me feel like I'm less than, because I know what I want. Because I've tried. I've had some men that actually tried to like, oh, you like this, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's my preference. Basically, have a mature conversation, even with those types of men, and then do away with them, because my mind is so much higher than what they're thinking. Low level thinking, narrow-mindedness. And so I'm looking for someone that has a higher mind, higher-minded man, intelligent, and knows what he wants. So African men tend to have that for me. They tend to do it for me, you know, in a lot of areas that I value the most. So yeah, that's my take for anybody who's, you know, ever wondered and never really asked me and then wanted to know. If you see me with my African friends and he happens to be a man, that's probably why. So no shame, but that's my preference, and everyone has their preference. So, and it's okay. Not to harp on my Black American men. I mean, it's rare to find someone that has it together, but you know, it's just different. African men hit different for me. It really does. But when I do meet American men that actually have their stuff together, I know that that is definitely a true gem for sure. And usually they're still looking for better. They won't settle with a heavy woman for sure. That's their preference though. And even like, not even with my weight, if they meet somebody else, because I've known an American Black man to date another woman, and still it's like they're always looking for something better, or it's like they want multiple women, or you know, it's something. It's always something that I don't agree with as a woman. So yeah, it's hard to find, and they're very, very rare, at least what I've seen. But yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Have a good one.